left my previous profession of nursing and I accepted to be a financial professional and educator to my community, I said I was going to answer the call. Where duty calls, I will go. I had some things to do in Denver this weekend, but I said, wait, I need to go to Atlanta. Not just Atlanta, Columbus. All the way. I landed in Atlanta. I said, give me my car. I drove through the night. All the way here. I said, I have to be in Columbus. And I'm blessed to be here. I'm blessed. Yeah. So, going back to the topic, what we are going to address today is how do we fight the financial miseducation of the middle class? We are the middle class, right? Yeah, let's say we are the middle class because there are some people poorer than us. We are right in the middle. Are we the richest? There may be some very rich people here. I don't know. You pardon me. Me, I'm not that rich. So I count myself, I'm in the middle class. But I'm moving upward. Never backward. Nobody can hold us back. We are too smart. We are too strong. We work so hard. We must move upward. If at all we are running late, our children must move upward past where we were able to get to. So let's get into the matter as fast as possible. So the control of my screen is back there. So when I signal you, you put up the next screen. So, but I want everybody to understand that as we are fighting this financial miseducation among the middle class, there are tons of companies, 5-star platinum companies that we work with. We don't work for. When you work for somebody, you defend their interest. When you work with somebody, you defend the interest of your client. And who are my clients? My community. I don't work for these people. I work with them to find the resources that will help my community. So do some of you recognize some of these names here? Who doesn't know Transamerica? Most of you, your 401k is done by them, right? Through your job. How about Nationwide is on your side? On every TV, this commercial goes through once in a while. Remember that commercial? Have you stopped to say, what does being on my side mean? What are they doing on my side? What can they do for me? We ignore information. It passes by us every day. And then sometimes later in the future, we turn back and we're like, oh, I wish I knew this, but it was there. The other thing that I blame my community, my culture is we don't search for information enough. If somebody wants to fool us, they'll fool us. It's easy. They just give us 2-3 jobs. We'll be so busy. We'll be digging. Money is passing by. Money is passing by. We can't even notice. We must search for information. There must be a better way. There must be something better than this. There must be the true American dream. Why am I stuck in one place? Working 2-3 jobs. You didn't work 2-3 jobs in Africa. Here you are working 2-3 jobs. Is that the American dream? But do you know you could make it better easily than you are trying to do? I'm going to beg on Sister Felicity to find one of the youths to bring my bag there and line up those books. They say if you want to hide information from people, put it in a book. It's sitting amongst us, and we are passing by it every day. It's in books. Who do you blame for not reading a book? Who do you blame? Yourself, right? If somebody is trying to stop you from knowing something, they're going to put it in a book. So from today, read a book once in a while. It will educate you. It will lead you to more knowledge. It will lead you to freedom. So let's keep going. All these 5-star platinum companies are there to be on your side. Just find out what they do and see who amongst them can help you better. Next slide. Just next one. Okay. These are some of the things that these companies can do. I wish I had my own clicker, but we don't panic in this business. We say we don't panic, we pivot. If you're driving and there's a roadblock, what do? Detour, right? You look for another route to go. So I don't have a clicker, but we'll make it work. With my clicker being back there, we'll manage and make it work. Thank you so much, bye. So these are some of, I don't know if it's blurry here. It's brighter here than here. Maybe you guys, you see it here better? It's good? Okay. So these are some of the things that these 5-star companies that, hey, who brought the bag? I wanted the books lined up. If you, one thing, sir, if you can have 2 of those chairs here, and then we'll place the books on top of them, because I want people to see them. If there was a table, it would have been better. But, so, yeah, if that table, that would be better. Thank you so much. And we'll put it back as soon as we are done. So today, as much as we have, I know you have had so much spiritual food, you know, poverty can make a man, right here. If you are eager to serve God, but you are hungry, you are stressed, do you know it diminishes your ability to serve God? You begin to question, where is that God that I'm serving? You spend more time trying to make ends meet than praying, than doing the ministry. So it's the devil's trick to make sure we stay broke so that we chase those things that can at least put food on the table for us so that we do the ministry less. But what if we were able to chase the ministry more because we are not struggling financially? Wouldn't that be good? There are many people in places that need to hear the gospel. They haven't heard it yet. We need to keep going. Thank you so much. Those bills are just addition. Awesome. You see the bills? I walk everywhere with bills in my bag. We can't escape the bills in America. All kinds of bills. They follow us even to Atlanta. You get in the plane, they get in the plane. Oh boy. All right. Awesome. So, I wish these books were sitting in a way that people can see the titles of them, but I will be passing a few of them from time to time around the room so people can see. I like this one. Graduate from college debt-free. Who amongst us, their children are going to graduate from college debt-free? I mean, a few have scholarship. You? Wow, I like that. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, what if you didn't have scholarship? Would you graduate debt-free? What if you didn't have scholarship? Because not everybody has the same level of intelligence. Then what happens? Do you know how to make your children graduate from college debt-free? We have to understand things like that. Anyway, let's keep going. So these are some of the things. If you look over there, it says $1 million baby, college savings fund. Now, $1 million baby. I pointed to one of our kids around the room. We need more $1 million babies in our homes. A lot. How about long-term care? When that time comes, you can't work no more, you're tired and getting old and getting weaker, or maybe you are sick. What's going to be taking care of you long-term? You're going to go to a nursing home? Africans don't go to a nursing home. We don't. Then we say, we're going back home. Is health care better back home or here? So why would you run back home when you need health care most? I mean, you can go back home and be visiting here often, but if your reason for running back home is because financially you cannot sustain life in America, then that's wrong. But the mistakes we've made, we are going to correct them today. Next slide. I'm just going to talk briefly about each slide, but otherwise we'll be here all day, so I'm going to rush through them. No family left behind is the crusade we are on. No family. We will go all the way to the ends of Columbus, Savannah, Atlanta, all over America to rescue our brothers and sisters. No family left behind. The Indians stick together and they don't let anyone know an information that they don't all know. They trust each other. That's something Africans have to learn. We don't trust each other. And some people say, instead of buying this from her, I'd rather go buy it over there so she doesn't get rich. May God take that spirit from out of us in Jesus' name. May God finally really one day take that spirit from us, because it's been so ingrained in us that when I'm crying of how Much have been backstabbed. I hear somebody who is crying even worse than me. I say, oh, so this thing is everywhere. May our children not carry that spirit in Jesus' name. Let's support one another in whatever they do. Whatever they do. Are they selling peanuts? An Indian will buy peanuts that are bad from an Indian man than buying yours that are shining and glowing. It's an Indian man who will support them. We're all children of God. We ought to support everybody around the world, though. But charity begins from home. Support your own first. Anyway, that was just to say that we are going to leave no family left behind. None. Every family must hear this crusade before we rest. Next. So we are going to talk about, back up a little bit, financial principles of, go back. We are going to talk about how we can better prepare for the journey of life. There's a way to prepare for the journey of life. People don't just, the rich people you see didn't just get up and became wealthy. No, they prepared. Their children didn't just grow up and inherit wealth by mistake. They prepared. How do we prepare for this journey of life? The journey of life has red lights, deep holes, valleys, turns. That's when you are sick. You can't go fast. It's a valley you're going through. Now, let's say you had a car accident. That's a red light. You stop. You can't go to work. If you had a car accident, your leg is injured, you're on crutches and things like that, you're still going through rehab. Can you go to work? So those are the stops and turns and through the journey of life. But now how do you prepare for it? And I have a question for you. Does your portfolio have all you need? On the days that you can't work, what takes care of you? Do you know the Americans get richer the day they are sick? When they get sick, that's when they get richer than when they were working. You're going to find out how. How come people get through difficult situations easier than us when they're sick? When Africans are sick, oh, GoFundMe start. Oh, sister, the pastor now carries the burden. Oh, sister, so-and-so is sick. May the church contribute $50 so we can put it together and go to sister so-and-so. May the church contribute this and that. It becomes the pastor's burden. Is the pastor here? Isn't that true, Pastor? Does it not become your burden when one of your members are in trouble? Thank you. But that shouldn't be. These people here, the day they are sick, they are the wealthiest people. How does that happen? What takes care? How does your portfolio help you the day there's a red light in front of you? As you're sitting there waiting for the light to turn green, meaning that to go through rehab and be back on your feet. You're getting richer than you were when you were running around. How can we make that happen in our community? Each and every family. Each and every family. And there are so many scenarios I'm going to quote here. Now, let's now go to talk about the principles that make the wealthy wealthy. No, back up. I know my PowerPoint, so when I see something, I know which one comes before the other one. Okay, so financial principles of successful people. I told you earlier, they did not get successful by error. It was by careful planning, careful strategy. We have to learn things like that. So now, let's go. We're going to look at those principles that made the successful people successful. What were those principles? Financial principles of successful people. When the wealthy want to prepare for financial future, what is it they do that maps them on their route to getting wealthy and passing on generational wealth to their children? Are we having some difficulty back there? Is it? Just tap on the arrow and they will come out one by one. It's a list of them. So they have to come out one by one. Now, you know, the devil always fights. No, not this one. The devil always fights something good. The devil knows we are about to nip on the tail of poverty, financial ignorance today. and he has to find some things to bring some difficulties. But he's fighting a lost battle. Because before we came here, we prayed, didn't we? That every seed was going to fall on fertile ground. So he is not going to do anything. He's just fooling around. We shall get to where we want to get to. This chasing, they call it the rat race, has to be over, especially with the next generation coming up, our kids, our junior ones. It has to be over. So we have to talk about some things that the other race, they sit at dinner table with their kids and they talk about. Son, as I'm getting older, you're going to be managing this company that I have. Son, this is how you get wealthy. Who has read the book of Robert Kiyosaki? How do you call it? Kiyosaki? Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Thank you. Those are some of the books you can read. I don't have it, but those are some of the things you read. Some of the things you read, it will teach you how to sit at dinner table with your kids and discuss money. Money, generational wealth money, not just how to get a job and make the daily bread. That is how the Indians, the Jewish, have you been competing with a Jewish man and buying a house or a car? You lose that fight. They'll pay cash while you're still trying to get financing from the bank. How come they do that? Have you seen a Jewish man doing 2-3 jobs? Have you seen them doing 2-3 jobs? They barely even work. But how come they are wealthier than anybody else? Just some principles they use, and the devil is fighting those principles.
The software will not allow related items, but bring it as a slide.
Okay, if you can come out all as a slide, that's okay. That's still okay. So bring it all as a slide, but the thing they were bringing was the second slide, not this particular one. Everything under this slide is what our discussion is going to be based on. So, and all the talking, that's where the heart of the issue is. Is it not this one? The heart of the issue is in that slide that is not trying to come out. Can we pray? And bind the forces that are trying to stop us from getting the most out of this discussion. If I was projecting, it's hard to get this discussion going without this, because everything we're going to say is based on what is going to come out here. That's where our discussion is centered today. I brought the computer just to be seeing, just in case they don't push something, I can know what's next. But this computer is not connected to none of these things. It's just here for, I can just talk without them seeing it. Oh, wow. Okay, yes. You just went back. It was just here. See, I prayed. Did anybody else pray? See, at the nick of time, God shows up. Never give up. Yes. Awesome. Exactly. Oh my goodness. This is just what we needed. Awesome. Keep going. Just put all 10 there and we'll discuss. Thank you so much. See? Wow. All right. So now let's go, and let's go faster since we've lost some time. I didn't even ask how much time I had. I just dive right through into it. Don't I need 3 hours? 10 more minutes? Hey, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. Anyway, okay, so these are the financial principles that successful people put into consideration when they are trying to make financial decisions. How do they become wealthy? There is the number one principle Make money but never lose money. Who here knows how to make money but never lose money? You don't? I like that. Did you teach daddy and mommy? Why not? You should teach mommy and daddy, right? So the number one thing you have to know in America to get to wealth is to make money but never lose money. When the elites of this country want to plan their financial future for them, for their kids, for their wealth creation, number one thing they put in mind is to make money at all times. It doesn't matter if the economy is down, if COVID-19 hit, if Russia is fighting Ukraine, if whatever's going on, they have to make money every day, all the time, but never lose money. Even the Wall Street crashed. Stock market was deep down. The Great Depression came back. They make money, they never lose money. Never. Number two, never forget principle number one, right? It is so important that you cannot forget principle number one. If you forget, you lose. Number three, management versus no management fees. Choose not to pay management fees, or do you choose to pay management? Which one is better? If you were given the two options, which one would you rather do? Not to pay management fees, right? Legally, right? But most people are paying every day and without knowing. Number four, inflation is at least 3%, at least. This one here. Inflation is at least 3%. Do you have an account that's growing above 3% at all times? No matter what. That bank account you have you gone there and you saw 3% increase on your money? 0.0001, right? And then inflation is eating up on the value of that money. You take that money back to the market next year, you're going to add more money to it to buy the same things. So you've lost money. You failed principle number one. You have failed principle number one. Number five is avoid double taxation. It's tax time. Didn't some of you receive a tax document from the bank to pay taxes? Where did that money come from? From your job, right? Did they not already deduct taxes from your job and from gross income and give you net income? So now you put the money in the bank. Now you have to pay taxes again. Isn't that double taxation? How can you avoid it? There's a way to avoid it. We ought to keep more money in our pockets than keep paying. Let not our basket be like the ones in Africa. All right, you see the basket here with this flour in there? If you had to fetch water in that thing, can you ever fill it up? Coming in, coming out, coming in, coming out. You can work your 2 or 3 jobs, you're still broke. You're still struggling. It comes out more than it's even filling up from the top. So how do you avoid those things? Look at that. Taxes is pinching. Management fees is pinching from the other side. Losing money when the market crashes is pinching from the other side. Flexibility, number 6. Your account must be flexible, because if it's not flexible, you pay penalties when you touch your money before a certain age. If you are not 59 and a half, I think it's about 60 something now, you cannot touch. If I'm in my 30s, 40s, or 50s, if I need money, why do I have to wait till in the 60s to touch the money? So you can go borrow from the bank and begin to pay interest to them. Meanwhile, your own money is sitting there somewhere. Why can't you touch your own? They put penalties and restrictions all over the place. But now that's the things the middle class do. The principles of financially successful people is saying, we do not use accounts that are not flexible and liquidly available whenever we need it. Those restrictions are not for us, they are for the middle class. Remember, we started by saying financial principles of fighting financial ignorance, financial miseducation of the middle class. How do you make sure your account is flexible and never paying penalties? How about number 7, compound interest? These are principles that successful people follow. Warren Buffett contributed to most of these principles because he was interviewed. How did you make it? We know Warren Buffett, don't we? The richest man in the world. I mean, I think Elon Musk has probably beat him now, but he was at one point the richest man in the whole world. Imagine how much money you can have to be the richest man in the world. Money is no longer, you don't even look at money anymore. It's like, what do I call that? So, how do people get there? by careful strategy. Their money must compound. Interest must compound because you're paying compound interest on your mortgage, on your car loan, on your school loan, on credit card, all these things, you're paying compound interest on it. When do you earn it? When are you earning compound interest? You only came to America to pay. You should earn. If I'm paying, I better be earning too. So, if successful people say that we consider compounding interest on our money, you better consider that too. If you want to come out of financial, how do you call it? If you want to have financial freedom someday, especially, our children cannot make those same mistakes. Number 8, Social Security. Did you know that your Social Security benefits will be reduced based on where you're keeping your money today? The day that day comes, they look in your bank account, oh, he has anything more than $2,000. Social Security income reduced. But do our people know? They keep you as much ignorance as possible so that those social will be cut down and given to other people. A Jewish man will walk there and receive the maximum of his social. He knows these things. A Caucasian will walk there and receive the maximum of his Social Security benefits. They know these things. When my people will walk there, it was supposed to be 3,000, now it's 1,200, reduced. Because they think you are rich. In America, $2,000 in your bank account will make the government say you are not poor. Even Medicaid, you can't even qualify for Medicaid. The same Medicaid, you're paying the taxes every day on your paycheck. And the time comes for you to take, they say you are too rich to have it. Why was I not too rich to pay it? Why are you always on the disadvantage when it's you to receive? But when it's you to give, oh, everything is good, you can give. So consider, where are you keeping your money? Do you think that 401k will allow you to get your maximum Social Security benefits? And they look 5 years back. I'm letting the cat out of the bag because I think I have limited time. Otherwise, these things are deep into the other PowerPoint slides. I would have discussed them later. They will look 5 years back. Don't think that if you go and collect the money in your bank account now and take it away, they'll still look 5 years. Oh, you took out $30,000 from your account in 2019. It still counts against you. All those things, be wise. We didn't come here to work and still be broke. Now, principle number 9 is critical and chronic illness is the number 1 cause of poverty and bankruptcy in America. What is that supposed to mean? Say you were sick today and you couldn't wake up to go work. What are you going to go back to? Your savings, right? All that savings you've been trying to keep to go on retirement or to start a business or to build a house in Ghana or in Nigeria or in Cameroon or wherever you come from. You're going to go back to that money and empty it. That's why wealth never transfers among the black people. They use it up. They keep us ignorant so that we never become wealthy. But we also keep ourselves ignorant because we don't search for information. Every time a black man or a middle class, I know there are some white people too, and some Asians too, and some Jewish too, and other races too that are not very financially knowledgeable. So we call all of us the middle class. Every time a middle class person wants to grow wealth, they go back to it and empty it back up because situations happen. Those red lights along the journey of life, those turns may be an accident. You're down, your income is no longer the way it was, or income stops and you go now to your 401k, empty it, savings, empty it. How are you going to pass on generational wealth? None. And the other people are nodding their heads. Good, let's keep them as poor as possible. Let's keep them as ignorant as possible so they depend on us all generations. Since we came here 400 years ago, we're still searching for information. It's in these books. It's sitting right in front of us. Most of us don't read it. 400 years of slavery has gone. We are still searching for information. And they have it. And the wealthy run the world, and nobody wants us to know. Look at this. Tax-free millionaire. Keep more money in your pocket by paying no taxes on money that already paid taxes. How can you do that? All what I'm going to say here today is because I have limited time. I'm going to box information together. But after this, I'll take appointment to sit with each and every one of you. I'm still going to be in Columbus for several days, or even if it's Atlanta or Savannah, I'll be there and sit down with you and break down these things even more. And you will see that there's a lot that we are missing. How do you become a tax-free millionaire? You will keep more money in your pocket than paying it to Uncle Sam, who is already so wealthy. Legally. No crookery. We are Christians, right? Legally. Look at the Rockefellers. They own New York City. Generational wealth of billions rolling down the family from... How many of us are inherited wealth from our parents? How many of us inherited millions from our parents? Anyone? Probably, maybe some of you. Me, I didn't. The Rockefellers, what is it they do? What would the Rockefellers do is the name of the book. What would you do? What would Kofi do? What would Kwejo do? What would Mr. Asante do? What would Mr. Wilson do? What would you do? Like the Rockefellers, to pass generational wealth in your family. Untouched, neither by the law or anything. The laws, constitutional laws were already built around things like that to protect it. So legally, you're doing nothing illegal. All these things. And we are sitting here working so hard. So many books here. Working so hard, yet being the poorest in the community. If they had to count 100 rich people in America, maybe there will be a 1 or 2 black people in there. The rest will be other race. The rest will be other race. Yet we work hardest. When you are sick, you empty your wealth, and there's another way to empty your wealth again, worse. I'm going to take the next 10 minutes. I pray that you give me a few more minutes so I discuss this in depth. So now the number 10 is the nurse, the estate, and the probate court system. So what is the probate court system? What's the probate? What is a probate court? We don't know? Mami Pastor, do you know the probate? Pastor knows. See, men of God always have revelations. He's not one of the students I'm going to test because he knows it already. So let me test everybody. Who knows the probate court? You do? What is it, sister?
Well, probate court is when you die without a will or without giving information on how you want to dispose your wealth. And then the court comes after you, pays your account, and then the appointed trustee over your account to do what you should have done when you were alive.
I would say a teeny bit right. But you were on that track. You were on that track. See, the probate court system, it doesn't matter whether you had a will or not. Nobody cares about a will. What they care about is, do you owe anything in the system? That hospital bill that you last used, by the time you passed away, you had lost your job, and you were sick for several months, and your benefits, your health insurance through your job was gone. So that hospital bill that was accumulating, whose name was it accumulating under? Under you. So you're gone now, who's going to pay? They're coming after you. Nothing is going to your children till you've paid your debts. Even the dead man in America or dead woman pays their debt. That is the court. You voted for him. Anyway, see, they say when a good man rules, people rejoice. When a bad man rules, people are wailing. I see a lot of wailing around town, so I ain't saying he's bad. I ain't saying he's good. You make the conclusion for yourself. Why is there so much crying around the country? People running, hiding. See, my pastor told this story the other day. We need to poke some fun into the financial education. My pastor said a friend called him. He said, my pastor, the other day, I heard a knock on my door. Boom, 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 boom. The whole house was quiet. Everybody was panicking in the house. People who have been here for 20-something years, their kids are already in college. Come and see them panicking. Why are you making them panic? What crime have they committed? Just find a way to work this thing out than have to say, go back to my country after 20-something years? Why is it so difficult? I've been working and helping the country, for God's sake. Anyway, now the person knocked again. Everybody was panicking. Then the person walked away, came back again and knocked again. That's when they were like, this thing is serious. Everybody was under the bed. Daddy was the worst one, right? They'd hide daddy because daddy is the one, the kids are born here, so they have their papers. But now daddy was hiding in the most darkest place in the house, shaking. The man knocked. Nobody opened. They waited. The man left. They waited for like an hour to make sure. One person went and peeped and made sure the person was gone. Then they opened the door. It was a package. You see how much fear is going around this country? It was a package. So that is just to tell you how people are so afraid now. And that's a topic for another day. Anyway, because we are about financial education, it's political. I pray, I say for good or for ill, God will take care of his own. If the children of Israel could come out of Egypt in the house of Pharaoh, we will come out of this. Amen. So let's go back to number 10. The nurse, the estate, and the probate court system. You know the divorce court, the child support court, the traffic court, criminal court, all these courts, but our community is kept ignorant of the probate court because that's the one that affects Africans. Most Africans are not into these crime things and all these things. The one that concerns us is that probate court, but we are the most ignorant about it. If you think the money you have in your bank account or your 401k or your stock market or whatever you have it belongs to you, think again. It's not yours. The day you die, God forbid if it was sudden, before your wife gets there or before your husband gets there or before your children get there, the government has it. To every single person in this country, they have it. You've not paid your hospital bill. You've not finished paying that mortgage. You borrowed the money from Wells Fargo or Chase Bank. Have you finished the $500,000 you borrowed to finance this house? The car you're driving, you're still making payment. Is it yours? They're looking for their money. The water bill you consumed this month, did you pay yet? You are going, who are you leaving it for? We know your name on the bill. It's not your wife. We can't come after your wife or your children. It's you. We're coming after your money. Your cell phone bill, the internet, whatever you pay monthly or annually in America, they're coming after their money. A dead man in America will pay their bills. That's why the name of the bills changes to estate. The nurse calls the coroner to say, Mr. So-and-so is dead, or Miss So-and-so is no more, and they punch in the social, the date of birth, and all those things linked you to them. Your social and your date of birth links you in the American system. They know who is who. Once those numbers are punched into the system, and there's a 1-800 number, right, Sister Philly? That they punch. That number is not called to discuss with somebody like, where can I buy a cheap gas, or where are you selling houses? No other topic but for death. Once that number rings, they know they are announcing somebody that's dead. So all they need for you to say is the social and the date of birth, and they know, Mr. So-and-so is no more. The whole system within an hour will block everything you own. It doesn't matter if you're a woman of God or a man of God, that system doesn't know. I'm telling you. So pray for God to give you wisdom to find a way legally around that system now. Don't wait for later. It will not spare you. So let's go now to the other slides very fast. You see that man? That's Mr. Warren Buffett. You see him? He's looking like, if I had one advice to say, never lose money. Number two, never forget that number one principle. You see, Mr. Warren Buffett, that's what he's saying. And how many of us know not to lose money? And always, you don't just have to not lose, you must also be always making. Are we ready to know how to always make and never lose? Are we ready to do that? Let's not just say yes in theory. In practice, are we really ready to never lose and always make? If you do that only just for 2 or 3 years, you'll fix your life in America. You will fix your life in America. You say God will redeem the lost year, the years of the cankerworm. God can redeem the lost time. Look at all the accounts we use. Which of these accounts respect those principles that the wealthy people use? Which of this account is working in your favor? Is it your checking, or your saving, or your CD, or your 401k, 403b, 457? Those are all 401k. Federal government, state government, and private sector, and all that. IRA, Roth IRA, stocks, Bitcoin, stocks, annuity, life insurance, bonds, college funds, which is called the 529 account, Social Security. This is look on the other side. This one is too big, and some things are lost in between. Social Security and all that. So next slide, please. Let's go faster so I can round this up. Now, if we were to look at, go down fast. If I had time, we would talk about these slides one by one. This is the uninterrupted making money and never losing money. The green checks are telling you where you make even 1 cent, but you never lose it. And the red marks are telling you where you make and lose, make and lose, make and lose. So next, we're going to get to the one that will show us. See, these are the accounts that never pay management and the ones that pay management. Awesome. Okay. So go down more fast and to the final checkboard that shows everything. Inflation, only 3 accounts protect. Okay, look at this man, Albert Einstein. What did he say? You must compound your money. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. We're paying it every day. Your mortgage, you're paying compound interest. That's why you buy a $300,000 house, it becomes a $1 million house by the time you finish paying. Why do you think so? You think it's just that 3.5% interest? No, it's compounding. That interest you're paying makes interest again. The principal makes interest. For them, how can you make it happen for you when you keep your money somewhere? Interest makes interest for you and never loses. Remember principle number 1, make money but never lose money. Go down fast. Let's see how we can conclude this. All this information is like a 2-hour session of information, but we'll squeeze it up and we'll have time to sit and look into it detailedly. Down more. Faster, 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 faster. Okay, right there. You see what the compound interest will do? You see the simple interest account? It's at 500,000. The same amount of money they invested, growing at the same interest rate of 10%. One person ends up at 500,000. One person is at 4.5 million. They didn't do 2-3 jobs. It was just placing it and go to sleep. The other one places it in the wrong place and goes to sleep. You don't have to do 2-3 jobs to have financial breakthrough. You just have to know the right places to go. 4.5 million compared to 500,000. Isn't that crazy? That's why the Jewish will buy houses cash while you're trying to get financing. Their children will go to college, cash, pay school loan cash on the first day because they have something different from college fund. College fund, how much grows in there? How many of you have had college fund account for your kids? Has even $200 grown on that money? Those are for the middle class. The wealthy do things differently. Go down faster. Okay, go down, chronic. Okay. Go up, up. Okay, right here. Living benefits versus disability. See the lady in the yellow jacket? That's just a little disability. She'll go back to work in 2-3 weeks or a month. She just sprained her leg and sleep on ice and fall. That's not serious sickness. She's smiling. She's walking in the neighborhood and greeting her neighbors. That's not a situation. But look at the guy on the other side, seriously sick, probably caught COVID. And is seriously sick. It could be cancer, it could be kidney failure, it could be a serious accident. If you were laying down seriously sick, will your pastor now carry the burden to say, oh, sister so-and-so, brother so-and-so, let's donate money for them? Or will you have living benefits? What would you benefit while you're alive? What would you benefit while you're alive? There are things in this country that will make sure your life is better. Remember I told you, the other people get richer the day they are sick. We die because of financial stress. I've seen people whose homes were repossessed while they were laying in bed sick. Because of that repossession, health crashed even worse. Can you be on chemotherapy? Cancer is already so serious on your body. Now they repossess your car or your home because payment couldn't come in. Can you survive that cancer? You're sitting there and declining. Even chemo is resistant. The body is resistant to chemo because of cortisol, the stress hormone secreted in your body from stress, thinking, how am I going to do it? How can I even get to a doctor's appointment? You can't even survive. Most of our people die from stress, not from the illness. How can you avoid that? There's a way to avoid that. The other people get richer the day they are sick, not die. We must learn from them. 2 more slides and we stop and take questions so that we can round up this day. I would know I will sit with you a little longer. Down. Look at this. Oh, up. Look at this. If you were to be sick with any of this or lose the ability to perform any of this, will you now be poor or rich? Heart attack, stroke, cancer, kidney failure, ALS, major organ transplant or failure. Any of your organs that fails is not functioning well. Is it your kidney? Is it your liver? Is it your lungs? Is it your leg that is broken from an accident? Is it paralysis from stroke or from an accident? It could be with your one arm, you qualify. Is it central nervous system disease like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's? Is it coronary artery angioplasty? The nurses in the house know what I'm talking about, like heart disease, and it's more prevalent in the black race. AIDS, have you been poked with the wrong needle or something and now you're diagnosed with AIDS or something? All these things. Or are you not able to bathe, dress, toilet, transfer? Now somebody has to take care of you. Where's the money going to come from? You'll be stuck in a filthy nursing home, sharing a room with 2-3 other people. Can you survive that? Africans don't go that route. We must stay in our homes and still be financially sufficient. Ladies and gentlemen, by now you should know that there's a lot out there you didn't know, don't you? How about our students with scholarship in college? The ones that graduated with no school loan. Are you still there? Were you taught this in school? You see that? They will teach you just what you will be good enough to go work for them. But they cannot teach you how to be financially sufficient, how to plan your own finances, how to avoid the system that keeps you low at all times. There's a lot to learn. I'm going to have time with Sid with you individually to answer a lot more questions and show a lot more things. But for now, I want to take a couple of questions before I leave the stage so that we can move forward with the other items on the agenda. Okay, awesome. All right, so no problem. We have a question and answer session. So thank you all so much. God bless you for giving me the privilege to be here. I think I'm going to move to Columbus. I was thinking of Savannah, but now it's Columbus. God bless you and thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Praise the Lord. We'll have another 5 minutes break and then we'll come back and continue. Amen.